Go straight to the Fly Creek Cider Mill.
Welcome to the Fly Creek Cider Mill and Orchard. Please enjoy this presentation of how we make cider the old-fashioned way. Cider pressing occurs on weekends from Labor Day until just before Thanksgiving. In November, we make cider which is frozen for sale during the winter and summer seasons. Thank you for visiting the mill, and please savor all our flavors.
At the Fly Creek Cider Mill.
For over 150 years, little has changed with the cider-making process in the quaint valley of Fly Creek. Hosa Williams built the Fly Creek Cider Mill in 1856 to service the needs of the growing community. Today, the mill has developed into an attraction and museum featuring its original pressing machinery and the secrets of making great-tasting cider. For their award-winning cider, the Fly Creek Cider Mill uses only New York State apples. These apples are hand-picked at their season's peak, rejecting inferior or fallen apples. Every year, the mill processes over 6,000 bushels of apples. Varieties are chosen for their flavor and sweetness level. These varieties include McIntosh, Cortland, Northern Spy, Empire, and many others. The apples are kept in cold storage until needed. Apples are dumped into a hopper which passes into the cleaning and grinding room located in the mill's old ice house. The apples are inspected and moved to the cleaning line. Apples travel along a reverse conveyor to remove leaves. The apples then enter the scrubber where heavy jets of water and rows of brushes thoroughly wash the apples. They are then taken by elevator to the grinder. The mill's grinder is a stainless steel drum with knives housed in a hopper assembly. Spinning at high speed, the grinder grates the whole apple, cores and all, into a coarse mash called pumice. The pumice passes through a progressive cavity sanitation feed pump. This pump pushes the pumice to the second-story pressing room. Once the pump is engaged, pumice is delivered to the press where workers sandwich the pumice between layers of nylon cloth and plastic racks. This process of layering is called laying up a cheese. The cloth keeps the pumice in place and strains the cider while it is being pressed. A frame is used while laying up the stack to ensure that all layers will be level and even. Each cider pressing uses about 40 bushels of apples, including at least 3 varieties ranging from sweet to tart. Once all 8 layers of pumice are complete, workers rotate the pressing tray under the press. Water provides power for the press. Part of Fly Creek is diverted and stored in a large mill pond. When power is needed, a valve is turned, allowing water to flow under the mill and through a restored 1872 Lessner water turbine. The water then flows from the turbine back into Fly Creek. The water wheel is contained in a silo that runs from the pond through a pipe and into the mill. Power is transferred from the turbine by shafts and belts upstairs to power the water hydraulic Boomer Boschert Press. In 1889, the mill acquired and transported by horse and wagon the Boomer Boschert Press. Founded in 1874, Boomer Boschert was well known as a press manufacturer from Syracuse, New York, providing presses and components to factories around the world. This state-of-the-art press consists of 2 parts, a piston-driven pump and a water hydraulic cylinder. Using water power to drive the pump, the press can exert over 2,500 pounds of force. The press takes approximately 20 minutes to reach a pressure of 2,000 pounds per square inch, or over 60 tons. At this point, the pumice stack is compressed to about a third of its original height. Pressing reduces the 1,300 pounds of apples into about 100 gallons of sweet, pure cider. The pressed pumice is dumped down a chute onto a conveyor where it is transported outside to an awaiting bin. When the bin is full, it is dumped into a wagon and taken to feed local livestock, or it's hauled to a nearby field. Pumice is spread to serve as compost, adding nutrients to the soil. After the cider is pressed, it passes through an ultraviolet light processing machine. This FDA-approved process exposes the fresh cider to UV light, eliminating potential pathogens, delivering the same results as pasteurization without the introduction of heat, and retaining a freshly pressed taste. The cider is then stored at a cool 35 degrees, keeping it fresh. Whenever a customer wants cider, a new container is filled with delicious sweet cider from the taps.